Hey class, it's Ashley and I'm back with another mentoring moment. And today I'm excited to talk to you about if mentorship is truly worth it. I'm going to be sharing with you the raw numbers of what my mentees invested to work with me, to work with an expert level mentor, the cost of working with me, what it looks like, what that investment looks like for different mentees. And I'm going to show you the amazing return on investment. I know a lot of women before working with me, they have taken on a lot of student loan debt. They are still in school and paying for school. Maybe they are saving for a house or for a new car or to move. And so lots of women before working with me have a lot of existing sort of things that their budget is, predicated on. They have a lot of things that they're already spending money on. So the question becomes, is mentorship worth it? Can I afford to hire a mentor? Can I afford to work with an expert? Can I afford to get the kind of help that I need to make more money and have more impact in your career? And so if you're asking that question, I really want to walk you through what the return on investment has looked like for so many of my mentees. Have been able to serve those women well and help them have major returns on their investment in working with me, and how I'm excited to do the same for you. So if that's a conversation you're excited to be a part of, be sure to just throw some hearts up on the screen. I want to welcome those who are in this space, and we're going to go to the whiteboard. I haven't used this in a while, so I'm so excited to just write it out for you, to explain it out for you, to talk to you about some of my most successful mentees, to talk to you about what they've experienced in working with me and the return on their investments. So let's dive in. So I think that when you think about a return on investment, right, basically what we're thinking about there is, based on the money that I'm going to put into, whatever you're wanting to buy, based on the money that I have to put into this, the time that I have to put into this, the work that I have to do, is it worth my investment? Am I going to get a return? And typically, people are looking for a full return. Nobody wants to invest in anything and only get a little bit of their money back or only get a little bit out of it, right? So many professional women have gone to college, right? Have gone to school, have bachelor's degrees and master's degrees, and maybe spent, 4 years, 6 years earning those degrees, both a bachelor's and master's degree. And they spent a lot of time, right? Like investing in their education and training and certifications, and doing all of this work to invest in your career development. And so the question is it worth it? I would say that the, average undergraduate degree right now costs about $40,000 a year. The average master's degree costs somewhere between $30,000 and $60,000 a year. I have lots of friends who have bachelor's degrees and master's degrees, and most of them have over $50,000 of student loan debt, or if they didn't take on debt, then they had spent lots of time, 4 years, 6 years. Maybe some of them are still in school, right, earning degrees. And so these degrees take a lot of time and a lot of money. And so it's important that you are, thinking about the return on your investment of both your time and your money. And you should be thinking about the same thing. You should be asking yourself the same kind of questions when it comes to mentorship. When you think about the amount it's going to take to work with me as an expert level mentor, right? Like that amount of money for some of my mentees is really significant, right? And so when you think about that amount, you also have to think about, am I going to get what I came for? Am I going to get my return on my investment? And I know for so many professional women, they don't feel like maybe they got a return on their investment when it comes to their degrees or their certificates or the work that they've done up to this point. They don't feel like there was a return on that investment. They don't feel like, that they've gotten their money's worth when it comes to their education. And so I want to make sure that I don't repeat that same cycle. I want to make sure as a mentor, I'm making sure you get what you came for, that you're getting a significant return on your investment. And this is why I talk so much about testimonials. This is why I go live with my mentees. This is why you'll always see me talking about their results, because of course I know I'm an expert. Like I know what I'm talking about, and I can talk to you all day, on live about what it means to advance your career. But I love to showcase my mentees and talk about the return on their investments, to show the raw numbers and really walk you through what it means to see professional women, with the investment that they made to work with me, and to see that return return. And so I'm going to walk you through that here. And I'm just so excited that you join me in today's live. If you're excited to see the raw numbers, to see the true return on investment, just throw some hearts up on the screen. I want to make sure that you're with me, that you're excited for this conversation, and you're really just excited to learn what kind of investment professional women are making at this point in their career and what that return on that investment looks like. So if you're excited for that, throw some hearts up on the screen and we are going to dive in. So, and I'm going to talk about 5 of my mentees here today. You all know that I serve hundreds of women through mentorship. These are just a couple of examples, and these are all mentees who have completed Mentor Me programs within the last, I would say, year. So within, the last year, these professional women have completed Mentor Me Accelerator or mastermind programs. So first, I want to talk about my mentee, Diara. Diara is a newer professional. She came to me a pretty new professional. She works in marketing. And for the longest time, after completing her undergraduate degree, she had been taking gig work, right? Like she had been taking part-time jobs, doing internships, making very little in her career. And it was getting overwhelming. It was getting frustrated. She felt like she was having trouble moving out. She was having trouble advancing, moving out of a smaller apartment. She was having trouble advancing her career. She was having trouble actually being able to take care of herself financially because she was making so little money. And that began to be really frustrating and really overwhelming to her because she knew she had the goods, right? She knew she had the skill set. She knew she had a lot of knowledge. She knew that she was really driving marketing strategies for major corporations and organizations, but her salary was not reflecting that. Her salary was not speaking to the impact that she was driving in these organizations. So she joined the Mentor Me Accelerator, to really say, Ashley, I need you to help me position me as an expert. And one of the challenges for Diara specifically is that she was under the age of 30. And so she felt like that was a big deterrent. A lot of people in her career were saying, you got to pay your dues. You got to wait your turn. You can't, you ain't gonna make that kind of money. You got to wait till you get this age or that age or do this or do that. And so she was getting really frustrated with, what it meant to grow her career in the marketplace and earn more money without having to wait her turn, right? And let me know if that resonates with any of you. If anybody ever told you, you got to wait your turn, you got to pay your dues, you got to have this degree first or this credential first or get this certificate first. If you've ever heard that from anybody about your career, just type a 1 in the chat. I just want to make sure see if that's resonating with anyone, because I do work with a lot of women who are getting that pushback. You got to wait till you do this. You got to wait till you do that. You got to wait till you get this certificate or this degree. And so Diara was in that same space where somebody told her she had to wait her turn. She invested $2,500 to participate in the Mentor Me Accelerator. So that was the cost of the program at the time that she joined it. It was $2,500. And she secured a this number's wrong. It's $35,000. She secured a $35,000 salary increase after working through the Mentor Me Accelerator. She secured a full-time role with full-time benefits, and she's on the organization's management track after working through the accelerator. And what's amazing about Diara's experience and about the power of the Mentor Me Accelerator is that it is an accelerated program, right? This is not, when we talk about accelerator, it's not just because it's a cute name. It really is an 8-week career advancement program that moves quickly and that it's fast-tracked and that helps you drive meaningful results in 8 weeks, right? After going to school for 4 years and after languishing around, for 2 or 3 years in the marketplace without securing a higher paying role, and after, suffering at, really not being paid well for her work, right? She was able to secure a really significant salary increase, $35,000, and really move herself into a higher level of work in the marketing industry and higher pay, right? And so that return on investment is tremendous. I mean, we're talking about more than a 300% return on investment from the amount she invested to be a part of the Mentor Me Accelerator and the return on her investment. And one of the things that, I really believe is important is that professional women should be investing a minimum of 5 to 10% of their annual salary back into their career advancement. So for example, if you're making $80,000 a year, you should be investing in yourself between $4,000 and $8,000 a year back into your professional development, whether that's hiring a mentor or going through, paid corporate trainings or going to conferences. You should be investing back into your own career development. It is not your employer's responsibility. It's not your boss's responsibility. It's not anybody's responsibility to invest in your career development, but your own. And so you should be investing a minimum of 5 to 10% of your annual salary back into your own career development through trainings, hiring a mentor, working with an executive coach, etc. So let's talk about Kim. Kim is another one of my mentees. She invested $2,500 to be a part of the Mentor Me Accelerator. Kim was able to secure a $17,000 salary increase after working with me. Thrilled about Kim's results. And Kim is a professional who initially came to me thinking, Ashley, I really want to advance my career in my current organization. I don't want to go out of my current organization. I really, just want to work there. I already work remotely. They're saying everybody has to come back to the office. I don't want to come back to the office. So Ashley, can you help me figure out how I can make sure that I can retain my current job and not have to go back into the office? That's how Kim initially came to me. And I will tell you, one of the things I told Kim is that, Kim, I want to invite you into the Mentor Me Accelerator, and I want to invite you to keep your mind open about what's available to you in your career. Lots of times professional women come to me and they're like, well, Ashley, I want to do this and I want it to work this way and I want it to be like this and, it can't be any other way. And I'm like, okay, if you know what you want in your career, I'm not here to steer you otherwise. I'm not here to tell you this is how your career should work and you got to do it like this. However, I do invite my mentees to absolutely trust me, right? I invite my mentees to trust me and to lean into my expertise. And I will tell you that when Kim invested this $2,500 into the Mentor Me Accelerator, into herself, into investing in her own career development, the return on investment, that $17,000 salary increase was well worth it. And she earned that $17,000 salary increase by staying in the same industry. She stayed in the same industry, but moved to a more cutting edge, higher paying organization and was able to still work remotely and have the level of flexibility she desired and to be close to her family. I mean, that's the power of investing in your career development. That's the return on investment you can expect by working with me as a mentor. I mean, this is a 250% return on your investment. There is no other investment that you'll make in the marketplace where you'll invest $2,500 and get a $17,000 salary increase. That's not happening for you in your degrees. That's not happening to you in the free certificate programs that you all keep completing. You need to be prepared to make an investment in your career, and the return is tremendous. Let's now talk about my mentee, Tracy. Tracy is a mentee who worked in education. She worked as a student affairs professional. And for those of you who may not be familiar, student affairs is the units that support students' development, students in residence halls. They support students with student academic development services and the like. So Tracy came to me and, she had been working in the field for a number of years, but student affairs professionals are traditionally paid poorly in the marketplace, right? So this is an industry that, or a functional area that is particularly paid poorly in the marketplace. She knew she wanted to make more money, but she was really struggling about, how to take her expertise outside of education. She thought, I really want to work in a different industry. I want to try something new, but I'm not sure how to do that, Ashley. I'm not sure how to take this expertise that I've earned in education, right? Like, what do I do with this? And how do I translate it into a different industry? And so, Tracy invested in herself. She invested $2,500 to join the Mentor Me Accelerator program. And Tracy was able to secure a $15,000 salary increase by transitioning to the nonprofit space. And I really love Tracy's story because a lot of people will tell you, those nonprofit jobs don't make no money, or, educators don't make no money, and this and that. And so I really want to invite you to push away from anybody who's telling you these jobs don't make no money. Maybe they don't make any money, or the organizations they work for don't make any money, but my mentees get a return on their investment, and I'm able to help them secure 10, 20, 30, $40,000 in salary increase, leveraging the strategies they learned from me as a mentor. So never let anyone tell you that these jobs don't make no money, or you got to do this to make, to get more money. That's not true. What I want you to know is that you can make however much you desire to make in any industry you desire to do it in. You just need to have the right strategies. And as a mentor, my job is to teach you those strategies so you can make more money and have more impact in your career, leveraging the skills that you already have. Next, I want to talk about my mentee, Erica. Shout out to my mentee, Erica. I believe that Erica was actually on a payment plan in my program, and so she invested at a little higher rate. The payment plan to join my programs is a little bit more, so she may have invested like $2,800 to be a part of the accelerator program and secured a $30,000 salary increase. Let's just play with the numbers. Let's say that this was a $3,000 investment. Let's just say, for the sake of it, right, that it was a $3,000 investment. That would be a 300% return from an investment of $3,000 to a return of a $30,000 salary increase. And the other thing that I want to talk to folks about when it comes to your return on your investment, it's not just about looking at this year's return or, looking at an immediate return. My mentees are making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 more after working with me, and they're making that year over year over year over year over year. So it's not just the one-time return on investment, but if Erica, for example, is in this position for 3 years, she's making nearly $100,000 more over the course of 3 years than she would have been making in her former role. The return on investment is immense, right? It's immense. And your commitment to not getting the help that you need, your stubbornness on, I'm going to do it myself, I'm just going to get my resume updated. Shout out to the people who think their resume is the center of the universe when it comes to making more money. It's not. Let me be the first to tell you it's not. And you need to apply more succinct strategies to really position yourself as an expert in the marketplace and drive these $35,000, $17,000, $15,000, $30,000 salary increases. Those come with more than a resume update. You're going to see these kind of numbers when you make this kind of investment. You invest in $300 to get your resume updated is not going to drive $15,000 salary increases. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. I have peers in the marketplace who do resumes. They're not driving $30,000 salary increases. Not time over time over time over time. As a mentor, I have served literally hundreds of women and helped them drive these kinds of results. Today, I'm talking about 5. But you can go to my website at mentor-me.org and see tens of women that I've served and the amazing return on investment. So what I want you to commit to today is investing in your career development. And my rule in general is that professional women should be investing somewhere between 5 and 10% of their annual salary back into their own professional development. Which means if you're earning about $60,000 a year, about $6,000 annually you should be developing back into yourself. Because that's the way you stay on top of your game. That's the way you stay on top of your expertise. That's the way you stay on top of your earning potential. If you are making, let's just say you're making $60,000 a year, you should be investing $6,000 of that back into yourself, back into your own professional development. And that's outside of degrees and credentials. I'm talking about having expert level support in your career development. That's how much you should be investing back in your career. And so if you're not presently there, now is a time to get expert level mentorship so you can make a switch. So let me tell you about the last mentee that I wanted to talk about, the return on investment for Christina. So Christina invested about $2,500 in herself to join the Mentor Me Accelerator. Christina is an HR professional who had a lot of expertise in HR. She knew that she was, really passionate about the field, had lots of experience in employee engagement and community engagement around employees for organizations, but she wasn't finding the type of roles that she wanted to apply to. She wasn't finding organizations that aligned with her values. And she also wanted to work for diverse organizations. And let me know just in the chat if any of those sound like you, that you're not finding roles that you desire to do. You're not finding organizations whose values align with your own, and you're not finding diverse organizations to work for. Just type a yes in the chat if any of that resonates with you. Like you've had a hard time finding jobs that even you want to do. Maybe the jobs aren't paying you well for the level of expertise you know you have. The organizations aren't diverse at all. You'd be the only one. Right? Whatever your identity is, whether you identify as a woman or a person of color, right? Like working for that organization would ensure you're the only one. If that sounds like you, if you've experienced that, you're in the same place that Christina was in before investing in herself through the Mentor Me Accelerator. But Christina invested $2,500 to join the Mentor Me Accelerator. She invested at that level and secured a $42,500 salary increase through working with me. That's salary and bonuses. Right? And before working with me, like Christina told me, like flat out, Ashley, I'm just looking for, I think at the time she was looking for like a $20,000 salary increase. We doubled that, literally doubled that. She came in with, Ashley, I need at least a $20,000 salary increase after working with you. That was going to be a little under 200% on her return. She invested $2,500 to join the program. That was the level of the program, the cost of the program when she joined. And secured a $42,500 salary increase after working the strategies that she learned in the Mentor Me Accelerator. Talk about impact. Talk about powerful. Talk about return on investment. Is mentorship worth it? If you are still asking that question after seeing the $35,000, $17,000, $15,000, $30,000, $42,500 salary increases, if you're still asking yourself those questions, I want you to hop in my DM so that we can talk about it together. Because after seeing these kind of results, there should be little question, right? After seeing these kind of results, there should be little question. Is mentorship worth it? The return on investment, the smallest return on investment, I guess would be a $15,000 salary increase. And that's still nearly a 200% return on the investment. There is no other investment you can make in yourself that's going to garner that kind of return. Flat out. There's no other kind of investment you can make in yourself that's going to garner that kind of return. And I'm able to help my mentees achieve these kinds of returns because the strategy works. It's not just me empowering you. It's not just me updating your resume. It's not just in me encouraging you or putting you on. It's about applying strategy to your career development so that you can make more money and have more impact. It's about using what you already have, the knowledge that you already have to drive massive impact and to make more money in your career. I know one of the things that often comes up is, are there payment plans available, right? Are there payment plans to work with you? I don't have that level of investment up front. Is there a way you can work with me? Is there an opportunity for me to have more flexibility in the amount that I pay? And the answer is yes. All of my programs have a payment plan option. I'm excited to work with you. I do not want money to be a barrier and the reason why you can invest in your career development. And so payment plans are available for all of my programs to allow you that level of flexibility that you might need in your life and in your budget, right? In your career. Another common question that I'm asked is, how much should I be planning to invest in my career, right? Like, I feel like I got this responsibility and I got that responsibility. Like, how can I afford to invest? My recommendation is that you budget out 5 to 10% of your annual salary to invest back into yourself for professional development. So again, at minimum, I recommend if you make $50,000 a year, you should be investing a minimum of $2,500 in your career every year, a maximum, or not a maximum, but somewhere between $25,000 and $5,000 a year. If you make about $50,000 a year, 5 to 10% of your annual salary should be back invested in you and in your own professional development. Okay. Another common question I get is like, hey, Ashley, like I'm saving for a house, or, we trying to move, like, is now the right time? Is now the right time for me to, invest in professional development, to invest in mentorship? And so a couple questions that I think help a lot of my mentees make the decision about working with me is that, let's say you're saving for a house and you're trying to buy a house that's, $250,000, to $250,000. Like that's that's the cost of the house, right? So, and this is, of course, over the long term, you're going to save more on housing costs if you maybe buy a house, right? Because, rent is very expensive. You'll have some equity in a house. Like over time, buying a house is a good decision, right? But when you buy a house, your costs are fixed, right? That mortgage is going to be this amount, the lights, the utilities, the maintenance, all of those things are going to be fixed costs that now have to go into your budget. Whereas when maybe you were renting, right? Like, you can call a landlord to do this and somebody else cut the grass and somebody else clean the gutters. But now that's your responsibility. If your fixed costs are going up, which is what happens when you buy a house, you need to be earning more money. So saving on your current, $60,000 salary to start is not a good strategy. What you need to be focused on is making more money. So investing, right? Investing, like let's say like what Tracy did. She invested $2,500 to join the Mentor Me Accelerator program. She was able to garner a $15,000 salary increase. And she did this before making any decisions about buying a new house or moving, because she knew that if she bought a new house, then her costs are going to rise. Being a new homeowner costs a lot of money. And instead of trying to skimp and scrape on the bare minimum that you have, why not let's work together to help you find and secure a new role. Let's help you earn more money so that when you get into the new house, you can have more money to work with for this new mortgage, this new maintenance, and all the new other things that come into, being a new homeowner, right? Too often professional women are like this or that. I need to save for a house, so I can't do this. We need to move, so I can't do that. We trying to have a baby, so I can't do that. I want you to think less this or that and think this and that, right? I want you to be saving and building your emergency fund. I also want you to get the help that you need to make more money in your career, right? I want you to buy the house of your dreams, right? But I also want you to pay off some of the debt you have so that your, the loan that you get isn't predatory. And you'll be able to do that when you get a new job. That's why the investment to mentorship to earn more money is critical. The investment is critical because it's not this or that. It's this and that. It's this and that. You invest $2,500 to join the accelerator and you get a return of $42,005, right? It's not this or that. It's this and that. It's not polarizing. It's both and. And so today I invite you to think about the return on investment that you desire. What are you looking for? A $15,000 salary increase? We've done that with Tracy. Maybe you're looking for closer to a $20,000 increase. We've done that with Kim. Maybe for you, Ashley, I'm being paid so poorly now. I need a $30,000 salary increase. We've done that. $30,000 with Erica and with Diara. And maybe you're like, hey, Ashley, look, I need something major, right? I'm looking for those Christina numbers. I'm looking for a 40K plus salary increase. Christina, Erica, Tracy, Kim, and Diara, and so many of the other women that I've served are proof that it's possible for you too. So I invite you to invest in yourself and apply to the Mentor Me programs today. You can do so right on my website at mentor-me.org. I am so excited to serve you. I'm so excited to help you make more money and have more impact. And that all starts with your investment. And the return is on the way, but only after you apply. Apply to work with me today on my website at mentor-me.org, and I'm looking forward to serving you. Thanks so much for watching.